Okay, alright, I will be looking at Jaxichoo's Lucio on Oasis. Not Priestio. On Oasis. So, let's just get it started.
3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Just a little thing, even though you did catch up back with your team, you're kind of just standing in the middle here. I'm assuming waiting to do some poke. But honestly, since you don't know if they're wanting to be taking high ground and you're playing Lucio, so you could go to like right here, honestly wait for like anything. I think you can even boop tanks here. But you are just waiting in the middle for a bit. You could also be moving, helping with speeding your team.
Damn it.
That's easier than wave.
Yeah, I see like that. I like what you just did. Basically just getting free kills because they're stupid enough to push you. You didn't use amp either, which is... Or... Did you? Yeah, you didn't use amp either, which is good. So you just have that for the next engage for when you go into their team. I like that. Okay.
The objective is
Wow. Okay. You actually got that, which is nice. You waited out Golden, which is actually, well, smart to do. Nice job on that. Okay. Now, your team should probably engage on their 3 that are alive so you can actually kill them now. Nice boops.
Making use of that speed, I see.
Nice. I don't really know where a lot of your input from like your queen was right there. They could honestly died quicker. You were doing nice right there.
Everyone's getting better.
You did kind of back up. I mean, it's not entirely your fault since your Bab kind of looked behind him. He just let your queen die. Late Immort. You did kind of fully back up too. I don't know exactly why here. Yeah, just fully... You just... Ooh. Oh, sorry. You just fully turn around when there's still like a fight going on. Nobody's on point. You kind of just fully turn around here. Your queen does kind of int. Well, I don't know if she would consider it inting because both supports still have their abilities. And she helped kill the, Zenyatta. I mean, he kind of did int. Or she kind of did int. But the supports should have been able to keep her alive right here. But you two did turn around. Not fully sure why there. So your tank kind of dies here.
Mortality field.
Like this, waiting for, even though you're probably not going to get the tank because of the tank reduction, breaking the railings, that always stops them. I like this. To be honest, you could honestly be helping looking out for the Reaper because he just popped Fade and he's shooting at your team right now, so you could like burst him down. You're trying to bait her to come to you towards the edge. I mean, that's alright doing poke, but you're just not gonna really be able to do anything since she's not gonna go this far back. She kind of just goes in completely alone without her supports right now. You're just not gonna get a boop on Orisa, even if she doesn't have gold in here, since the tank reduction passive. So honestly, you could be going like high ground, like maybe right here and doing same amount of poke, same amount of baiting. You're not as close. So if they do walk up, this is more likely to get a boop here than where you're currently playing. Or honestly, go back, speed your queen back into the fight. Either or. I'm genuinely gonna be surprised if you get a boop here, which you're not. You, right now, since you missed a boop and you're kind of separated from your entire team, you need to go back here. Because, their whole team's pushing up on you. Orisa's just popped all of her cooldowns, surprisingly. But you need to group up with your team right here. Okay, I don't dislike this either. Could have honestly be done earlier. Their entire team's grouped up, so yeah, their entire team's grouped up. We're kind of just sitting on point right here, besides you and your Tracer, which is good. Your Queen's a bit late to fighting here, but yeah, I like this area right here. Would be better if like your team was up there with you. You just I get you want to do a bit more damage, but you kind of almost died. You got discorded and got down to 98. You didn't need to go fully around, like right here. You could have just went back a bit then dropped if you needed to. Or honestly, just stay up like right here doing more poke with your soldier up top. Because your BAP has your queen up, should have your queen up. So you could just do like have high ground, do infinite poking, keep your soldier up. You do kill the Zenyatta. I was gonna question the amp a bit since you did pop it like right here. Did go in, did kill the Zenyatta though. It was looking a bit weird because your queen went in at like literally like 50 HP. I don't know where your BAP is. Okay, never mind. Oh, that makes sense. Again, you do kill the Zenyatta, which is good. You need that squishy dead. The amp looked a bit weird because you didn't get full value out of it. You did go in and kill him, which we gave you good value, but I feel like there could have been more out of it. You killed a Baptiste right there. Wow. I was gonna say, why are you on your heels right now? Since you were like 2 seconds ago instead of your speed. But it may have kept you alive. I don't think it did. But you're probably dead here since the Reaper's shooting at you. I'm assuming you wanted to trade for the Baptiste because you can get back quicker.
I'll play it again.
I'm a man on a mission. Stay out of my way.
I like you going back and actually taxiing your queen here.
Don't let them take down barrier is almost ready. Guys, these healing waves.
Get into the field.
Turn it up, turn it up.
That's insane. I know that's the best Lucio perk, like, but it still looks insane for a boop to go that far. Okay, yeah, sorry. That was a nice boop. Get on the Zenyatta, even though you didn't hit him, it's still good to get on him. Yeah.
You want that louder?
Actually like that you tried to use speed amp to get out instead of speed healing, to actually keep your team up while they were still in there. Honestly, right here you can be going for a beat, a close beat.
Team kill.
Pass into the iris.
Yeah, they don't touch anyways, it doesn't matter.
Ready. Ready. Ready for battle.
Let's get loud.
Ready for battle.
Man, what is this bug?
Ready for battle. Ready for battle. 5, 4, 3, 2. Ready for battle.
Sorry about that.
3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Even though it's basically given, I like that you're amping right out of spawn because you should have it by like maybe somewhat the middle or beginning of the first actual fight that your team does. I know it's like most Lucios do that, but some just don't. It's good that you have the knowledge of actually popping it and not wasting it.
Win here and you can go home.
Did just take a bit of oops, not necessary damage there because well, now they've been on Orisa, now they're on a hit scan, so they're gonna be able to hit you much more right here. You did back up, you did live that right there, but you backed up. I was gonna say something about wall riding, but I don't know if that would have been made much difference right there. Kinda, yeah. I was gonna say you didn't have your major boop fully filled, and you kind of went in, booped them a bit, but then that places you into their entire team. Their cast is just gonna slow you down like 90% of the time, right there. So did you even have amp there? Yeah, you had amp. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you popped it, or maybe you died, then got it back. But you had amp. You could honestly, well, I mean, you did just go in and boop, then they just murdered you. So I don't think you should have gone in there. You could have been either like poking back here, which still, but it, you know, not make you die. So like right here doing poke, charging, like wall riding, charging your boop, or you could be playing with your team right now since they're almost gonna touch point, and your speed could, you know, really help them get on their back line, especially with your queen.
Amp up this beat. How's that for sound therapy?
I know you're just trying to do some poke, but it's like so risky, especially against an Orisa that has basically full HP and her entire team behind her. Well, a lot of her team behind her. Your soldier did a kill. It's so risky just taking it, especially since your Baptiste has backed up now. I'm not sure if you'll live this. If you do, that's good, but you're doing so much risky poke. Yeah, she backs up, so you live that, which is good, but yeah.
This is my favorite part. This is my home. I'm getting
The name's Jackson.
You live that too. I mean, you kinda, even though he was low health, you still went into a Cassidy with his team. He could have honestly just slowed you unless he already popped his flashbang and killed you right there, since it completely kills your momentum. Momentum? What? Even though, oh, you had just popped it. But, even though, you had Immort, there was Immort in that, you could have just stood in there, you could have swapped to your speed and tried to, get out of there. But I understand you want to stay in Immort because that guarantees that you don't die from her ults. But let me go back a bit. Yeah, she kind of ults right there. I'm assuming back. Yep, Bap throws his Immort like right here. Yep, you could have honestly went this way. You kind of Jesus Christ. You kind of just stood there a bit. You could have popped your speed and go this way, since it's not your fault. Soldier pops his ult and kills you right there. That's 2 ults out. But you kind of did just stand there. I get you not wanting to die from Orisa ult, so you stood in Immort. I mean, this isn't even entirely your fault. Your team's just like not fully like separated, but kind of separated in what you're doing. You're grouped up, but you're not really making any decisions on what to do, because you're kind of just sitting there against an Orisa comp, just taking a lot of damage. Because all of them had their ults before you guys had like 2 ults, which is, yeah. Putting pressure on their BAP, I like that. Honestly, I would have said you probably shouldn't have, since the Kiriko should help the BAP since she was like right beside him. But you're probably gonna kill him here because I saw the Kiriko just like not caring. Yeah, that's insane. That's actually insane. He even popped Immort and his Kiriko just doesn't like him. Your queen does die here. I'm assuming just, yeah, your BAP was dead and you're on the other Baptiste. Yeah, just very separated right here.
I'm at the objective. Anyone else?
On my way. Let's move up.
Yes, load. I mean, you could have, since you were playing right here, you could have backed up like through here and just, I know it takes a while, but you know, it doesn't, or it makes you not die. Plus the Cassidy stun is just gonna mess you over.
This music stops for no one. Competition is ready. Prepare for fire.
Let them up.
Crank up the game.
Even though taxing is usually good, it's a soldier. He will already be back in the fight pretty quick, so I think you should have been with your team here, honestly. I mean, you still have B here, so you're gonna need a pop it. It's last fight. Yeah, I don't think you should have been separated from the fight entirely. Even though I do usually like taxing, yeah, soldier has sprint. He's just gonna be back there anyways.
Oh, let's break it down!
I do like you getting into their backline, disrupting it with your boops and just being a general nuisance. I'm surprised like not a lot of people turn to look at you right there. assuming you were playing there to see if you could boot people back in case they come back, but you could have been helping clean up the team fight right there.
Team
You call that a fight?
Pick it up, pick it up.
I'm assuming you're just looking for a time to engage right here, since you're just doing poke when you could be honestly playing right here and it'd be a better position for you. Which, yeah, like, you're probably looking for an engage here, which you shouldn't since they still have their cast and their entire team's right there. This just, in my opinion, isn't that good of a position since you're not getting value out of your speed, healing, whatever. You are doing poke, which you should probably be playing right here if you want to get actual poke out, because damage fall off for them since they have 3 hit scans. And while you're playing Lucio, if you needed to engage, it wouldn't be too hard as opposed to right there. You could just jump wall right on either wall, engage. Your queen's not really getting healed right now. Your BAP's looking at, I'm assuming, your soldier. You could be just keeping them up a bit more. I don't know. Okay, so you're looking for an engage with your Tracer. Honestly, now wouldn't be a horrible time since you see Baptiste just threw his Immort out. Kiriko's looking at her. Yeah, now wouldn't be a horrible time to engage with your Tracer, but after you do that, you need to go help your Quark. Bit unfortunate there, but I still like that you still went after the Kiriko since you saw her use TP and cleanse, so she didn't have any other cooldown to save herself.
I would have caught up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
Send move!
That is really, I'm gonna be honest, that's an interesting angle. Since wall riding to get your boop buff, and then poking here, that's really interesting. Since they can't really do anything about it, since you're this far back. But honestly, you could be playing like up here, since they also can't do anything about it, and you'll be much closer to your team if you, when you need to get with your team. That's such an interesting place to be. It's not even fully bad. That's the thing too. It's just so far back from your team. You're doing poke, which you can honestly get to your team quick if they need to. This map is really good for Lucio. Or, sorry, this point, at least. Yeah, it's just an interesting angle. It is kind of interesting how you're doing poke, but you're not on your heals. You're on your speed. Right here. It just give you more ult charge is what I'm trying to say, since passive doesn't give you ult charge.
How's that for sound therapy?
The objective is inactive.
Yeah, that position was kinda... especially since they started engaging and you're still standing there, basically waiting to be walked on. Even even though they were like right here, you were still being waited. You were still waiting to be walked on, even though you could have just backed up a bit. Yes, it doesn't give you as much an angle. Yes, you won't get as much ult charge, but you won't be putting yourselves in like these kinds of situations since he's forced to throw Immort there. You did live right there, but that's like a 24-second cooldown.
Thank you. I'm feeling
I do like you trying to engage with your tracer, but you go too far here. Like, you see your tracer, you try to engage with her. When you see that their team's fully, like, 3 people are there, you still go in, especially since their Cass and Soldier are there. You're basically just like a fly to them. Since they can just hit scan you, you're dead. Yeah, and you die there. Unfortunate that your tracer dies there too, but yeah, you just went too deep right there.
Go win this thing.
I like this taxi, no bad thing about it, since you're not really taxing a soldier. Yeah, nothing bad about it.
This beat will heal you up. Party time, let's go! Turn it up, turn it up!
I know a lot of people say don't really use amp for like the healing, but honestly, I'm fine with amp healing. It'll just like make you stay alive more, even though it does like a 13-second? Yeah, 12-ish second cooldown. I like you, well, not being able to die, so, you know. You kind of do go in there, you live there. Sorry, not go in, but kind of come out of cover right there. You live there, though, so.
I feel great!
Kind of just doing poke. I do like you kind of taking this off angle right here to give your front line a bit more space, a little bit less pressure off of her from the soldier. Doing this against the soldier is fine. You just shouldn't do it against the cast. So yeah, I do like this, taking pressure away from your from your front line. Sorry, I can't speak. Since your BAP's gonna be with her. Again, you could have just been doing poke, but you just went in here, taking, like, you could have been doing poke, taking pressure away. Like, right here. You burst down the soldier quite a bit, but she's not even looking at you. You know what? Maybe you live here, and that'd be good if you live here. But you could have been just doing poke, taking pressure away from the main angle. They do turn around, which is good. I mean, you did what you were supposed to. But yeah, I don't think you should have fully went in here. Maybe you live? Yeah, you live here. Yeah, good that you live. You're basically with your soldier now. Or behind the Kiriko, which is honestly even better. You may be able to burst her down.
Tactical visor activated.
Force her cooldown. Nice. Cycle back to the front line. Okay. I guess it was just messy, but I don't see a whole lot of stuff that you could have done differently besides not going And when like Tracer's dead, doesn't have anybody else to distract them, kind of went around. I do like the forcing Kiri to use her cooldown, which you admittedly will get back pretty quick since you just popped Kitsune. Not much to say.
Break up the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate there that your Tracer died here. You're doing a bit of poke, which is fine. You may get burst down by this cast actually, since you're out in the open. It will take a second for you to go back into cover, but if he like hits 2 or 3 shots, you will probably maybe be dead here. Since that isn't open, he can just walk to the or your left, his right, to get a much more open angle of you in case you go right, which this is kind of an eh. Yeah, you almost died there. You don't, which is good, you know, because you don't want to die. Honestly, didn't need to pop amp right there. You were the only one that was low. Yeah. You're fully... Sorry. I could explain that better. Sorry. What am I doing? You didn't need to pop amp there because you're the only one low. There was a health pack right beside you. Just puts it on a longer cooldown. And you were behind cover fully, so you weren't going to be taking any burst damage, any other like type of damage, so you didn't need to fully pop it. And now it's on a 12-second cooldown. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't explain it good the first time. Yeah, I don't know why your BAP popped Immort right there either. That kind of just 12, no, that's like a 24-ish second. Second cooldown, just since he was already behind a wall, I don't know why he popped it. So you will have it for next engage. I'm not, even though you shouldn't be taking as much damage, I'm not really mad about it since you're also trying to build beat here. Right here, I'd be fine with you going in. Tracer does die a bit when they could have been taking a bit more of an off angle here. You just heard him pop visor, and you're chasing him, which is a bit interesting. I think you maybe heard him pop visor, like right here. You were still chasing him, but if he turns around and you're completely out of cover, which you are right now, you're just gonna get burst down and killed. You almost have beat, and you really don't want to be, you know, killed right now, especially since you have beats, or well, you're close to it. Yeah, you just don't want to be chasing after him, especially since he popped visor right here. Yeah, that's just a bit unfortunate. I mean, Orisa popped her ult, so you kind of just weren't able to move. You could have been playing with your queen, honestly, since she just popped Rampage. You could have went in with her, kept her up, killed people. You would have had beat right there, which could have maybe helped you win the fight.
That was just a sound check. Amp up this beat. Oh, let's break it. Damn!
I mean, yeah, you're just using beat to stall there, honestly. Yeah, you were just using beat to stall again. Let me just... Yeah. Unfortunate. Honestly, you shouldn't have been. Few things to say. You shouldn't have been chasing the soldier, especially since he popped visor. You could have been playing with your Junker Queen, killed their 3 people that she hit with Rampage. Kept her up, killed people. You would have had beat for the fight there. Instead, you had to come back with beat for a touch, which is, you know, definitely not as good than having people dead and being able to win the last fight with beat. Yeah, you should have been just playing with your queen, or honestly people on low ground, even though he did pop his visor, which you would have been more sustainable. You would have kept your team up better instead of chasing him. Another thing is, you are very aggressive. I think most of your deaths are coming from you going in when you don't need to go in, or you going in without a team. Yeah, you're just very aggressive, which isn't always terrible, but you at least want your team to back you up, or be able to, or you want to know you're able to make it out without dying. Since you are going in quite a bit, some of them are working completely, which amazes me. Like, it actually shocks me that you're getting away with some of it. But when they swap to Cass, that just stopped working, because slowing you down is just gonna make you a lot more sustainable to getting killed. Another thing is your positioning, I guess, because you are doing poke to, you know, get your ult, just damage them a bit. You were doing poke a bit, which I like. I like you wanting to, you know, get ult charge, you know, damage them. But some of your positions when you're doing poke or just standing around made no sense. Like the little under the entranceway on the left side of the final point. You kind of just like stood there until you waited for them to push up on you, which that resulted in the cast literally walking up on you. And I mean, you did live there, but Amor had to be popped. Their Orisa was basically on point now. You could have backed up with your team, or Gorn? Yep, gone to the right side out, but your soldier out. But yeah, that was just a bit unfortunate with your positioning throughout. But I mean, that could be worked on, along with everything. But positioning could be worked on, like, pretty easily. So, yep. I think that's about it. See ya.